Normally I start in front of the stove, but today I thought I would introduce the new member of the family. Hello, LG washer. It is the updated model, the 16-year-old model, which this dryer basically represents the 16-year-old model because this is also 16 years old. Still going strong, not having a problem with it at all, knock on dryer. But our new washer's here. It is an LG. I've got a load of towels ready to go. There was some drama though yesterday with it. People that came in and installed it did a wonderful job. Very courteous, walked you through everything, told you, hey, we're doing this now. If you need to move it, you need to do this before you move it, which I realized we didn't do that with the old LG. There are plugs in the back that hold the barrel inside steady for transport, and we didn't do that. So it's hard to say whether that helped contribute to the water leakage that happened a week ago. Don't know. But anyway, so here's our LG, and yes, so we, one of the hoses that they connected had a fault in it. So I called the store and they were kind enough. Well, I mean, they were kind enough. You can say that though. I know customer service, so you know, I think you can say that. They were nice enough to give me 2 hoses. One of them was busted, the other one was not, but they come in packs of 2, so one of the hoses is on there now. There's a joint line that's right here that started leaking profusely. It wasn't spurting out, but the water was steadily trickling out of this space right here. So, and the more you fit to these damn things. I mean, if it were just this straight on, I think it would have been just fine, but no, we got to be fancy when we put it into the back of the washer. And I don't know who needs 6 feet worth of hose. I don't know. Our hookups are just right back there. So, but yeah, so they, it started dripping water out of this seam right here. So they got us 2 new ones, just in case, I guess. I liked my chances with 2 hoses. And I brought it back home, hooked it up, not a single problem. Washer runs great. As a matter of fact, we're on. I've got towels in there right now. We'll select the towel setting and hit go. There we go. There are a lot of new noises that both myself and the cats have to process. So, but here it is, the brand new washer. One of the things we said, hey, you know what, we really don't need that or want that, was the Wi-Fi option. And we figured if we got the one that didn't include the steam, which we didn't need, we had the steam option in the old one, and it's like we never used it. It was never any use for it for us. It wouldn't come with it, but lo and behold, they now all come with smart functions. It has a little QR code right here in the inner ring, and it's smart functions. So it's on the, it can be on the Wi-Fi. It's not on the Wi-Fi right now. And it's really weird, you know? I mean, there's this thing that you can track your energy monitoring, which it can be a thing. You know, I know he has several devices, you know, monitoring all of our electricity usage, which, you know, it's just for funsies to see what's going on, you know, and if something spikes, then there might be a problem that can be fixed. There's a diagnosis feature that you can use the LG app for, so it can kind of, if you're having a problem, it might be able to detect some of the more known issues that affect the machine. So, you know, that's okay. And then we get into the weird things. The things that I don't know are necessary or are just baffle my mind. There's push alerts to know if your washer is done. Now, I will say, if you are hard of hearing, this might be something that is helpful to you, although I don't know. I mean, you can put in a load of laundry, get started doing something else, forget the laundry's in there, and then maybe 10, 15 minutes pass, and then you're like, oh, the washing's done, I gotta go change that. You know, but still, you're still cognizant of the fact that you put laundry in for the most part, I would say. So that's a weird one to get a push alert. There are downloaded You wouldn't download a wash cycle, would you? Well, here you can. Download new and specialized cycles that are not included in the standard cycles. Why weren't they included? Do we come up with things on the fly? You know, I guess maybe we do. We have a special way that we want to do. I mean, it's like customizable wash cycles. You know, I will say there are fewer wash presets on the thing. There was a bright white setting that it blasted it with heat, warm, hot water for a cycle, like with bed sheets and whatnot, maybe towels. But there also was a towel setting. But now we have a bedding setting. So we have a bed sheet setting on that dial, which is kind of cool. Remote start. In a car, it makes sense because you are wanting to get the car warm, especially when it's -6 degrees outside like it is right now. But remote start. So if you put stuff in the laundry and leave the house, you can say, now I want my laundry to go. It's the most OCD thing in my mind. It's like, where's the remote? Get it out. Where's the remote? Put it in the dryer. Where's the remote? Start the dryer. I mean, they have a remote start the dryer if you get the dryer, the newest dryer. But yeah, so it's just really strange to me as someone that has lived 48 years of his life. And in that span, I've seen wash tub washing. I've seen old school giant barrel washers that just agitate. And then we've had to pass it through the two. I mean, if you've seen any older movie that involves any kind of washing, it's two little spring-loaded rubber or even stainless, maybe stainless steel, but I think that they're more of a less able to corrode kind of material. Because even stainless steel can get some form of corrosion. But you just pass it through these two rubber things that are compressed together that roll, and you're told never to put your hand or finger. I knew a young man growing up who had a terrible, terrible scar on his arm from and it's child abuse and it's horrible and I hate it. But his father, who was an abusive bastard, put his arm, and I laugh at it because it's absurd and it's horrifying. And a lot of times when you hear something so horrifying, you can't comprehend it. You laugh uncontrollably. And I'm one of those people that do that, unfortunately. But, they put his arm like this through it and it just took his skin it was just, I didn't see it happen. I didn't see the direct aftermath, but he had this scar on his arm. I don't know if he's still alive. He was my age, and this was like in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. One of those times when I saw Roger's arm. It was just an absolute mess. So they were very powerful and very dangerous, but no guards. They just pulled it right through to squeeze out as much water as possible. And you pass it through like 2 or 3 times. And then you either put it in a dryer, which Granddad had a dryer, but more likely, if it was a nice day in the spring, in the summer, or the fall, it would all be just hung up on the washing line to dry the rest of the way. So, as someone who's seen that and experienced that and used that kind of stuff in the very early 80s to get to the point now where they're controlled by Wi-Fi and somehow, some way, you can physically load the barrel up with laundry, close the door, add the soap, and then just walk away. And then whenever you feel like it, you can go, I'll start the laundry now, click. The remote beeper to tell you that it's done makes infinitely more sense to me than not hitting start after you've loaded it up with laundry and soap. Waiting, walking away, convenience. I don't even know if that's convenient. I just think it's not even lazy. It's stupid. It's the only word that floats around in my head for such a thing. I'm sure there are people out there that have uses for such a thing, but I'm like, if you can load your laundry into the laundry barrel, if you can pour soap into the soap chamber, I don't know why you can't at that point click, 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 and then hit start. I don't know why you have to then walk away and be like, I'll get you later, laundry. You don't own my life. I'll get you later. You know, some vendetta against your laundry where your laundry is like every aspect of your humanity, and you won't let it take over for you. So this is the Highland Grog. How's our water doing? Probably almost done. I've ranted for a long time about loading your washer and then walking away without even starting the damn thing. It's just a weird foreign concept to somebody who's seen so much innovation and change in his life that he's like, when do you start saying to yourself, maybe this is a step too far, you know? We ask that in monster movies all the time. We have Frankenstein as a big one, you know, any Roger Corman movie or Burt I. Gordon sci-fi flick, Ed Wood movie, you know, they all, in their own weird ways, question the step too far, you know? So, you know, and the writings, I mean, it's all wordy and unnecessary and just a lot of trying to be profound while just coming off as over analyzing stuff. You know, it's just you know, but still they're like, oh, they tampered in God's domain, you know, that kind of a thing. So anyway, Highland Grog, I'm going to blitz this up now. And it's not like I went immediately to, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I gave it a good 30-second think to why you would want to load the laundry with clothes, pour soap into the little soap container that dispenses it at the top, and then walk away and maybe while you're shopping go, now's a good time, boop, and then start the washer. Now, yeah, but all of the things that I go, yeah, but for are weird cases. You know, maybe somebody's taking a shower and your home is not necessarily efficient enough to do both a shower and laundry at the same time. But, you know, there's the edge cases for such a thing, you know. It's like the edge cases for people that drink bleach, you know. That's why they need the little the little thingy on the side saying, do not drink, poisonous, you know. I don't know. But yeah, so we got our LG. It's got a QR code. It's got Wi-Fi in it. We can activate it remotely. It runs really well other than that problem. And it's really strange. I didn't bring this up to the folks that at the place where we bought the thing, where I had to go back and get new hoses from. But one of them, as they were, you know, finishing up back there, and they started a 15-minute cycle, because he's like, we could get all the manufacturing dust out of the barrel and out of the lines, and, you know, this will give you a nice clean first load of laundry that you don't have to worry about. So just let this go for 15 minutes. While that cycle was running, one of them did go back there, and they're like, ooh, maybe there's a little bit of dripping coming out of this line, and they both came to the conclusion that maybe it was condensation because it was sitting on a truck all night outside in -degree weather. So that is something that is incredibly plausible. So they left. And then I started looking around, as I do, to make sure everything is fine, because I am my father's son, and that's just what we do. Although I don't do it while yelling at them under my breath and then turning around and telling everybody I know how they didn't do their job properly. These guys did their job properly. I was amazed and impressed how the one gentleman really, really accurately backed that big, long box truck down our driveway, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic. So that was really cool. I was all about that. And then they came in very professional-like, and everything went without a hitch. It was great, except for that water thing. But the water line's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault. There's nothing anybody can do about that. It comes to them bagged, so it's not like they're going to pressure test every single one. I can't imagine the logistics of trying to do that. So, it's nobody's fault. Nobody that can be blamed or should be yelled at within the transaction that was processed. They did, the business did the right thing, which was just go, we've got a ton of these in the back. I'm just going to give you 2 more, and you can install them. You're capable, right? And I said, sure, I can do that myself. No problem. Very easy. It was just a very small inconvenience. I did have to drive across town to pick them up, but I needed to get out of the house. So that's the LG washer saga finished very well. Everything turned out great. I've been washing clothes like a fiend, and it is taking all of that abuse. Abuse meaning the function that it was created to do, which is wash clothes. So I'll do about 450. I did about 35 grams of the Highland Grog, so we'll do about 450 milliliters or 450 grams of water in the system. So I'm getting more and more different coffee blogs and review places in my feeds in various spots, which is good because the other crap that's being fed right now is infuriating. But it's just really funny because they're now, just talking about how much cheaper a lot of coffee makers and espresso machines have become. And a lot of them are advocating for buying used. So it's really interesting. And maybe at some point in the future, after the car's paid off, which is in May the 1st will be the last car payment that goes out for the vehicle. I'm so excited. It's really cool. I owned the Subaru outright before I sold it. I think I owned it for about 5 or 6 or 7 months without having to pay for it, with no car payment. And I think as much as I enjoyed the Subaru, I was never quite satisfied with the CVT transmission was, I hate CVT transmissions. They're just rubber bands that go like this, and they fake gears, and the fake gears are awful. And it just didn't have a lot of power, which is not that big of a deal, especially when it saved our skins in snow so often. But I just felt like at near the end of the cycle where I was making payments, I just felt like, I really long for something different, And now I own that. Matt West owns a Porsche. Is never anything I ever thought I would hear myself or anyone else say, ever. It's funny because I opened the garage door. I moved the Porsche outside, the Macan outside, and put it beside the garage. So they had all of the workspace they needed to in my car parking spot in the garage. I didn't know that they were going to unbox it in the truck, which makes sense. They unboxed it in the trunk. Incredibly genius. Not having to drag all of that stuff out and then drag all of that crap in, potentially leaving some trash inside a customer's garage. I mean, it would have taken me at least 2 stops unless someone was with me who knew better to figure that out. But they walked in and they looked at Matt's Polestar 2, and they're like, "Oh my God, that's amazing!" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, yeah, it's really cool. It looks better when it's washed, but it's." And then he's like, "Is that your Porsche on the other side?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is." He says, "That is so cool." So I'm like, "Dude, I wasn't doing what you're doing, but I was in the same kind of position that you were in 20 years ago, and you look like you're about that age now. So you've got plenty of time, and I'm sure someday you will absolutely get that, get something like that, get a car you can look at and go, my God, I own that." So I was very fortunate and very privileged to be able to do such a thing. So, but anyway, yeah. So it's just really weird that I can say that I do that. And but I'm not at that point where I'm like, I want something else. No, I'm very satisfied, and I think that it's incredibly wonderful vehicle, and I've got 92,000 miles on it, and I hope that it goes for another 100,000. You know, and you take it in for regular service, it's bound to last for a good long time because they'll catch anything that might be an issue. A lot of people don't trust service writers, and I think at the more Chevy or even lower than that bargain brand car level, they may have some validity. I don't know. Dad doesn't trust his Toyota service people anymore. The cost for an oil change went up, and they bought their tires at that Toyota dealership, so the tire rotation should be free. And the last 2 times that they've gone in there, they've tried to charge them for the tire rotation, and Mom's like looking at the bill like a hawk because that's what they do. And that's what a lot of people should do anymore. Probably even more these days, they should scrutinize what's they're being billed for. But yeah, so they don't trust that Toyota dealership. So now he's trying to convince Mom to buy a Subaru. And he's like, yeah, we can come up whenever we need an oil change and that kind of a thing. We can just come up to your house, and we can go to because the Subaru dealership up around the 270 area north. That's where I bought my Subaru, and I liked the salespeople there. They were, at the time, they were really nice. Anything could change in, God, what's it been? It's been 10 years now. The service people were really nice, and they did a really good job. And, so I don't have any complaints as of 2015 with the buyers. It's buyers, Subaru up there. But he's trying to get Mom to buy a Crosstrek, and I tried to get him into a Subaru Outback when he was going to buy the Toyota RAV4 that he bought. I tried to be like, you should buy one of these instead. They're amazing. This X-Drive can get you almost anywhere. As long as it's not covering the lower half of the front bumper, you can probably get anywhere in this thing. Snow-wise, not water-wise. Don't ever go through water, high water. Don't ever do that. But he tried to get in and out of my car, and he did the thing where he hem and hawed, and he's like, and he didn't really want it, so he found every reason to not get it, which is what he does. But now he wants a Crosstrek, which is smaller than the Outback. So it would be interesting to watch him get in and out of it, because he gets in and out of cars weird. I don't know why. He's one of those guys. He backs himself into the car, he sits down, and then he swings his legs over. And I don't know why a climbing motion to get in is a problem. I mean, he's not going to tell me why it's a problem, but I don't know. So I don't know why it's a problem. It's weird. It is very strange. Anyway, Highland Grog. Yeah. It's got a very good coffee flavor to it. And then, like, in the back, you get a little bit of caramel and a little bit, I think it's a vanilla that's in that. No, not butterscotch. Butterscotch is something different. I should have looked it up, I guess. I keep forgetting, because they don't put the flavor notes on here of what it's supposed to be. They just say it's Highland Grog. Duh. And he's in the box. How you doing, buddy? They don't trust the washer. They do not trust the washer. They don't like the washer. It was quiet for a week and some change, and now it's new sets of noises from the washer, and they hate it, because that's what cats do. That's good. Good coffee. Not my favorite, but it's good coffee. Anyway, so welcome to the family, LG. Congratulations. Here's a free online manual if you want to read it while you're on the toilet. And just scan the QR code. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Matt got home just fine. His voice is shot because they were shouting for 4 hours and some change at a big football game, cheering for the Buckeyes who won. As little as my congratulations mean. Congratulations. You fought a lot of adversity. They need to start de-emphasizing the Michigan rivalry crap because, I mean, you're going to have bad days, and they've had several consecutive bad days when fighting Michigan. I'm not saying de-emphasize it because you're losing. I'm saying de-emphasize it because it was started between two old men who are dead and have been dead for a long time, and you need to start to work on fundamentals and reviewing tapes and plays for every football game. And then every football game should be just as important as the last. Leave the Michigan week stuff to the school, you know, and just play the football game. You hype yourself up so much, you worry about it so much. This is the game. Well, no, every game is the game. This is a game. And look what happened when you, even though you lost a game to Michigan, you are now national champions. And that is cool. And as a person who does not like football, who is not a fan of football, to me, that national championship means so much more than losing to a Michigan team. You know, and then these kids, they feel kids, they're adults. These students feel like, you know, even though they've won a national championship, well, we didn't beat Michigan in 4 years. Who cares? You're national champions. That's amazing. To me, that's amazing. And it means, yes, you had a bad day, but that bad day didn't matter because it was one day during a 4-month string of days. You did it. And you lost to Oregon, but then you beat Oregon. Look at that. That's amazing. If you would have went up against Michigan again, I don't know. That's a hard one. If you were up against Michigan again. But, you know, Michigan didn't make it to playoffs. Well, they made it to a bowl game. They're not national champions. And that's what matters. To me, you know. Good for you. It's awesome. Anyway, I don't play sports. I've never played sports. I'm not built for sports. I bruise easy. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll tune in tomorrow. We'll get some more coffee. And maybe tomorrow I'll do the maca pot. That might be a good idea. I just wanted to talk about this LG washer and how some of the nonsense stuff that I don't personally get in it. But otherwise, I would have done that maca pot today. But this is just there's too much gold. There's too much gold in here, Jerry. There's too much gold. We will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.